Okay, estudiantes, welcome to the first video of the semester. And this video is gonna be a little long, but I wanted to introduce to you the idea of what's gonna change this semester. What are the three big things that are gonna be different in this class? First one being standards-based mastery, which is this new kind of grading scale and way the class is gonna function, so that students can accomplish as much of the work at their own pace. Second thing that's going to change is the way that our classwork is going to be. A lot of you wanted worksheets or stuff you can have in paper, and I also noticed that a lot of you aren't keeping your paper or using them to study. So classwork is going to be a little bit different. And third one being notes for the same reason, so that y'all can get some new study skills and build on that and get ready for college and careers. So if you log into Schoology, you'll see this. Most of you should already be here because you're watching this video. First thing on there is new standards-based mastery grading skill, which I'm actually going to go first. Second difference that you might see, maybe not right now, but definitely in a few days or a few weeks, is that you're going to have all these folders of all these units already ready. If you click on one of them, you're going to have classworks, notes, projects, there's going to be videos, there's going to be all the information already here. It's pretty much everything you're going to do the entire semester, and the entire semester will already be here ready. So I'm going to explain that a little bit, but first let's talk about this grading scale. Now, we're going to try something new this semester. We're going to see, it's called Standards-Based Mastery Skill, and it's mainly for students to finish as much work at their own pace. It's going to accommodate all students, and it's going to be really cool to see how far it can go. So, you'll see this is it's the same idea, but a little bit different than Perez's class. You see this 3 units that is mandatory for everyone, and then you see additional units that will be optional for either extra credit or pre-calcs and stats. And I'm not going to go over every specific detail because you can link it on here, but pretty much the main idea is that your grade at the end of the semester will be based on how much you finish. So if you want an A, you need to finish Unit 4, Unit 5, Unit 6, because you need to get all the way up here. If you want a B, you need to finish Unit 4, Unit 5, and half of Unit 6. If you want a C, you need to finish Unit 4 and all of Unit 5. If you want an F, Unit 5, and so on and so on. But no one should be down here. Now, notice that there is no D, so be careful because you can have a C or an F. And let me go over, for example, let's say you finish Unit 5, Classwork 12, and that one right there, you will end up with a C, because this is all you finished. This is all the classwork you did. Now let's say you finish Unit 6, Classwork 17, and the test, you will end up with an A. Let's say you finish Unit 4, Classwork 2, you will end up with an F all the way down here. Now the cool thing about this is that all the information is already online, so you can actually work at your own pace. But also notice that if you want to take pre-calc or statistics, there's a few more works that you have to do. A few more classworks. Now in Perez's class, you should be getting up to Unit 10. However, in this class, because of the tests and a few things we're doing throughout the semester, you probably won't get there. Now, if you want to take pre-calc, you need to finish Unit 4, 5, 6, Unit 7, Unit 8, Unit 10, Unit 9, and Unit 12. Now, a lot of you might not get there, but this material will be on there for you to get ready for pre-calc. If you want to take stats, you need to finish Unit 7, 8, 10, and Unit 11. So again, I just want to introduce you to the idea. I know it's going to be a little bit confusing, but go ahead and look around through this file because I'm going to go over it next week when everyone's done with maps testing. Now let's go back to Schoology. Now, like I said, the second thing you'll notice is all these classworks. Now, if you click on it, actually, you'll see more information by the time you get here. You see all the videos and more examples and maybe a few prizes and things. But if you click on the first thing on here, the notes, you will actually see all the notes. Now let's see where I left them. So here's an example, classwork 2. It gives you all the notes, essential questions, examples. A lot of times I'll leave more examples on here than I will in the videos. The key concept is pretty much a summary and just a whole bunch of information that you can use for yourself. Now let me go back to Schoology. The next thing that you see after that is the classwork. There will be a video in here too. Now the classwork will look something like this. It's going to be worksheets, and I have paper copies for everyone. If you don't want a paper copy, it's fine, but you do need to write this in your notes. The last 3 to 5 questions will be college questions like they were before, and they are extra credit. These are for anyone who wants to challenge themselves, who wants to push themselves and go above and beyond. And then after that, you will have this test and quiz. Now, if you click on it, it gets a little interesting. There isn't actually anything there. You shouldn't really see anything. This is for me to give you the credit. This semester, I'm going to be grading on completion. So all you have to do is try, check with me, and see. I'll let you know if you're right or wrong, and you can move on. But I want everyone to get full credit on all the classworks. Now, the last thing that we're going to go over is notes. So I wasn't very strict on this last time, but I want everyone to start taking Cornell notes. Of course, it's going to be mandatory for everyone who doesn't have an A and optional for everyone who got an A, but I really, really encourage it still. Now, Cornell notes, let me go over the summary. You should always have the topic, which could be factoring, your name, your class, your block, and the date that you're taking the notes. I also added the unit and the lesson that you will find in the video. Now, here's a summary of all of the stuff that should go into Cornell Notes. I'm not going to go into too much detail, mainly because all of you already know what Cornell Notes are. Again, you have the question on the left, the content on the right. These questions are pretty much the same thing as you have on the notes. You could write something like, how do I factor quadratic expressions when a equals 1. You could write something like the example, how do I factor the expression 4x squared plus 5x plus c. Let's do 6. Whatever you want to do over here, and then over here you write your notes. Again, this should be all kind of pretty much copied down from the videos or the notes, whatever you want to look at. The last section is the summary. So write a short summary. This is usually going to be at the end of each slide. You can even write or create your own questions just to start preparing for the final or midterms or stuff like that. So again, sorry it was so much information. If you're still taking the MAPS test, don't worry about watching this because you probably don't have time. If you're watching this, go ahead and look through all the new material. Please, please, please let me know if you have any questions. And again, I know it was a lot, but we're going to go over this next week when everyone is done in class. So go ahead, and for now, what you should be doing is clicking on Unit 4 and starting on the classworks and finish as much information as you can. Again, no talking because people are still finishing the MAPS test.